I just can't get enough of that. Turboed XLT. What's up, my triple love on YouTube friends? Pulling the new project in the shop. Well, sort of part of the project. This is the donor for the Project 650 turbo build that Trent and I have been working on. This is the donor for all the turbo stuff, is this sled right here. Bought this from Taylor. Gave me a screaming deal on it. He bought it and he likes to chase. He loves chasing these sleds. He buys a lot of these sleds and then sells them. But like I said, he gave me a really good deal on it. He knew I would do something with it. I just didn't want to do it with the monoblock. I wanted to do a 650 build and do the turbo on that. So that's why we're going to take everything off of this sled, put it on the 650. But I'm going to try and explain how this system works in a nutshell before we actually take it all off of the sled. And I'm going to do a bunch of videos of it, and a bunch of pictures of it. I'll probably refer back to this video when I go to put it back on. But yeah, I'm going to try and document everything before I pull it off, so I'm able to put it all back on the 650, and it should be pretty similar when it's all done. But yeah, the sled's going to go up for sale now. We're going to take everything off that we need for our build, and it's going to be for sale. Princeton swap is coming up, and I want to have this sled ready in case somebody from out of state is coming to Princeton. I want to be able to have this sled all ready to go, so if they want to pick it up at Princeton, they could, or I'll have it for sale at Princeton. And I'm thinking about $2,500. That's where we're going to be. It's coming with the skis. It's not coming with any of the turbo stuff. It's not coming with that windshield. I have a different windshield that's going on. I want to keep that windshield for our 650 build. But what you see here is what you'll get for $2,500, and it's a damn clean sled. It's rust-free. It's from Idaho. So it doesn't have all the rusted hardware and all the pitted and all the crap that they come over time from being in Minnesota, Wisconsin and stuff with the tremendous amounts of salt and liquid brine that they put on our roads. It just corrodes everything, and this doesn't have any of that. This is a nice, clean, salt-free sled. But let's swing the hood up, Trenton. So we can kind of go over the turbo system in it. The track on this thing is like mint. It's like brand new. Buy one of these tracks new right now, $800. $800 just for the track. So it's got a really decent seat on it. I'll show right in the video here. It's got one little, I don't know what it is. It's a blemish of some sort right here, and it looks like somebody maybe put some glue around here, but maybe right there is something going on. I don't want to pick away at any of this, but it's a nice, soft, very soft, clean seat. There's one little blemish, little scratch or rub mark in the hood. Yeah, I think it's over on this side, right here in the decal. Little rub mark there, but otherwise, very clean sled. Very clean. Like I said, I'm gonna put it up for sale for $2,500. If anybody's interested in it, get a hold of me. You can email me. My email is always in the description, but it's gonna be on Facebook too for sale here real soon once we take all this off. And I even have the Trenton, go grab that box with the carburetors and stuff while I'm trying to explain some of this. But in a nutshell, you got your turbo over here. The exhaust runs the turbo. At a point, you'll start building pressure. It starts to pressurize this air box. And once you get to a certain pressure, there is somewhere in here, I think it's in here, but there's a pressure solenoid, pressure switch that'll end up kicking on an electric fuel pump that will run fuel, extra fuel, into these fuel nozzles that go right into the top of the intake of the carb. And this is adjustable and stuff. This here reads the pressure, this puts pressure on the top side of the slides. So as you're building boost, it just doesn't force the slides up and go wide open. This puts some pressure on the top side of the slide also to keep the slides from wanting to just push all the way up and you'd have a wide open throttle scenario. So that puts some pressure on the top side. Otherwise, you'd have to put so much spring in it, Christ, it'd kill your thumb trying to ride the thing. So that's your extra fuel port. This is your fuel line from that electric fuel pump. This here reads, I believe it is the vacuum draw across the face of the carb. Now, I talked to a fellow that knows a lot about these systems. He feels that this needs to be raised a little bit. He thinks it's too close, so it's not going to read correctly. So he told me when I go to start putting this in the 650 build, he's going to help me with some of these measurements here. And we might change some of this stuff to where he feels it'll work better. He doesn't think this is going to work as good as it could. So, but that's kind of in a nutshell. And then, of course, you got to clutch them. And I see it's running a Polaris Blue spring. I mean, them have always been a great spring. I don't know as far as what the rest of the clutching is, but we'll dig into it and figure that out. Here's that electric fuel pump I'm talking about is down here, right here. Here's the electric fuel pump. There's a fuel pressure regulator right here. Yeah, so, and here's that solenoid, that pressure solenoid I'm talking about. And there's a line that runs off of that into the air box somewhere, I believe, like I said, to read the pressure. But once I get the stuff taken apart, I'll have a better grasp on the whole system, and I'll be able to explain it better. I just wanted to explain some of this stuff before I actually start taking it apart. But once we get this pulled off, start getting ready to put it on the 650, I'm going to contact, I believe his name was Phil, if I remember right. I hope that was his name. But I'm going to contact him, and he's going to thoroughly explain all this stuff to me so it makes better sense for me, and maybe I can explain it better so it makes more sense for everybody else. This is a popular deal in the 90s. They put them on as kits, and as far as I know, they almost all ran. God, I'm sweating like crazy. It's 90 some degrees outside, and we're thinking about snowmobiles right now. I got the air on in the shop, and I'm still just sweating bullets right now. And all these gauges will be coming off here too. None of this is going to go with the Sled when we sell it, but real good color on everything. When I look for a Sled to buy, I mean, I just look for this kind of things. You know, good color on the switches, good color on the brake handle. All that stuff fades over time when it sits outside. Obviously, the Sled never sat outside. All the foam underneath the hood is good. It's a really good, clean Survivor sled. It has the turbo set up on it, but that's all coming off. I honestly, I don't know. The Sled has 2,400 miles on it, and it could have been on there since new, or maybe it was put on and they only put a couple hundred miles on. Hard to tell. It's a good running sled. But here's those carbs. Trenton dug them out, and I'll put all these carbs back on. They pulled all these carbs off when they did the turbo kit. But this is the factory 34 millimeter altitude compensating carb setup. It's got all this stuff. This was all set up on these RMKs to compensate for the altitude change. So I'm going to put all that stuff back on. I've heard they ran good with them on. Some people had some issues with them. I don't know for sure, but I'm putting it all back on because I was told they actually ran just fine with this. And I kind of want to keep this sled true. I want to keep it as a RMK Survivor in case somebody wants to maybe put this in their collection or ride it. I don't know, but I want to put everything back on. I got a new air box to put on it, so it'll be all switched back over as a factory sled, basically. So yeah, that's all I got for now. Oh wait, Nathan Kinney just came by and picked up the seat for the turbo build. He's going to do his magic to it. It is going to be amazing. Me and him discussed what we want done. He's going to get the seat done before Princeton, so the seat will be on display out at Princeton. We might have some other parts of the sled out at Princeton on display as we get some of the stuff back to just help support the guys that are doing some of the work for us. We'll have it out there on display. So as Princeton gets closer, maybe we'll get some of these parts rounded up, and I'll even put them on here on YouTube, and we'll talk about them a little bit. But so stoked about getting this seat back from Nathan. I can't hardly wait. Like I said, he was just here today. If he could drop it off later today, done, it wouldn't be soon enough for me to be able to see what he's going to do. I cannot wait. So Trent, let's fire this old girl up for the last time that this thing's going to run with a turbo on it. And just so everybody can see it running and hear it. And let's leave the hood up on it this time. And yeah, let's enjoy it for the last time that this thing's going to have a turbo. Well, I know the smell of burning 110 sure smells gorgeous in the shop. Oh man, I could save that smell for the rest of the day. Whew, that smells unbelievable. Yep, the sled runs off a straight 110. So, and we hope when we get the 650 one all done and dialed in, I've been told we should be able to run it off pump gas. Or maybe we'll have to mix a little 110 in. But we're hoping to be able to run it primarily off of pump gas. So, when you're trail riding at $20 a gallon, you don't go very far, and we want to be able to go far on it. So that's it, everybody. We'll have more updates as we get parts back for the project. And we did get a bunch of suggestions for names, and I've been running some more names through my head, and between suggestions and what I got going through my head, and we have come up with a name. I think I'm going to announce it at Princeton. So yeah, so hopefully some of you YouTubers can be out there and hear the announcement of the name of the project. Finally came up with a name. So that's it for now, everybody. Enjoy summer, because winter's coming, and winter could not come quick enough for us. See ya.